It was announced today that Errol Spence Jr. will be back after a year layoff in April against Keith, no longer one-time Thurman. The last time we saw Keith was a year ago when he went rounds in a welterweight fight against a junior welterweight who had previously been knocked out by a lightweight. The once big puncher has been doing more Tantra yoga than boxing as of recent, as he hasn't had a big win since the beginning of the Trump administration. More good news for the boxing fan, and I'm being sarcastic, none of this is good news, is that this fight will take place at 154 pounds. So Errol Spence Jr.'s 147-pound mandatory title fight has turned into a 154-pound non-title fight. Stop the cap. Strap season has turned into non-title fight season. And here's more great news for the boxing fan. For 75 plus tax, you get to see a fight that everybody was asking for in 2018 and nobody's asking for in 2023. Over-marination strikes again. Quick question, does PBC put on non-pay-per-view fights anymore? The PBC motto of free boxing for all from 5 to 7 years ago has turned into the price of the brick has gone up and you're going to have to pay extra for everything. So as strap season turns to non-title fight season, hopefully non-title fight season turns to strip season. If Errol isn't going to do anything at welterweight for a year plus, come up off those belts. Those 3 belts should be vacated or stripped, and let's get movement in this dumpster juice division that is the welterweight division. It's one of the job requirements of the sanctioning body to create movement in these divisions when there is gridlock. So if Errol is going to move north to 154, let him. And free these belts so these young lions can start competing for real championships in the division. Let's see Virgil, Stanionis, Boots, Crowley get shots at real titles. And if Bud's going to stick around at 147, let's let these young lions have shots at him through the mandatory or unification process. And for the love of God, let's stop hearing about Errol versus Bud. It's dead. This is more confirmation that if Al wanted Errol versus Bud, he would have made it by now. For 4 years, Bud is told that he needs to cross the street in order to get a fight with Errol. Bud becomes a free agent and Al immediately makes Errol versus Ugas. After Errol dispatches of Ugas, Al waits 4+ months, confirmed by both Errol and Bud, to send a rough draft of a contract over to Bud and his team. Bud gets tired of being jerked around, signs to fight Evanesyan, dispatches of Evanesyan, then tells Errol Spence to circle the block. Instead of circling the block, Errol Spence decides to fight a glorified gatekeeper. Errol versus Keith should be an entertaining fight, but there were much better and more meaningful options on the table.